time of Boi Kala. Come, bride. The bride here is the bride of Shabbos. And at this time, the clouds of the week are making way for the clouds of Shabbos. Shlomo Carlebach has a song about this, the clouds of Shabbos. Can you feel the clouds of Shabbos? Can you feel the clouds of the week, clouds of the days of the week making way for the clouds of Shabbos? You know, we're pulling in the clouds of Shabbos right now here in Israel. There are people who already have pulled in the clouds of Shabbos ahead of us. For example, in New Zealand, it's 13 hours ahead of us. 13 hours ago, can you imagine? 13 hours ago, they got the clouds of Shabbos, and we're just getting it now. Incredible. Approximately, you know. I don't know when the clouds got there exactly on this Shabbos in New Zealand. And what time they're gonna get here, you know. So anyway, we're gonna do a little Kiddush. And with the help of our friend over here, let me see. Oh, here it is, my jacket. This is a trick. I don't love to do it because sometimes I feel like the plastic gets stuck over here in the metal onto the glass, and then I drink the plastic and I get worried because I've seen it happen and I've tasted it, and it scares me every time now because I taste it every time now. So really, I would prefer to use like a water bottle or like something like this. Something like this. I don't think I'm gonna damage anything. I think it'll work. See that? And that didn't put any plastic or anything about. Why? Just the weight. You're not scraping the hard plastic into it. You're doing something hard. You're pulling it against something hard fast. It just flies off. The other one, you're like, I guess if you do it fast enough also, but how do you do it so fast? It's just really you're pulling leverage with your thumb. Like the other way would be like, so like this. That's your whole force. It's much less force than whacking it up like, you know? Anyway, so that's the clouds of Shabbos coming in real quick. L'chaim to, you know, good people who are there for me and love me, and want good for me, and are helping me live my best life. Thank you, Hashem. You are the best. Echad, Yachid, Umiuchad, Haya, Haive, V'yiyeh. Echad, Yachid, Umiuchad, Haya, Haive, V'yiyeh. Echad, Haya, Haive, V'yiyeh. What? Echad, Yachid, Umiuchad, Haya, Haive, V'yiyeh. Echad, Yachid, Umiuchad, Haya, Haive, V'yiyeh. Shabbat shalom. Echad Yachid Uvyuchad Hayu Haya Via. 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 What does that mean? Echad is one. Yachid is like single. Umyuchad is like unique. Think. Haya, I mean, listen, they probably have like deep implications of exactly what they mean. I'm just giving you the most basic that I could translate, okay? And then Haya means was in the past tense, right? Was. Its deep implication means just always, constant. There's no like end to it. There's no end point. It's just all the always of was. That's Haya. Haiva is the constant existence of now, of Havaya is existence, and Haiva means to exist. So Haya is like the past existence. Haiva is the present existence. Yeah means he will exist or it will exist in the masculine form, but it will exist or he will exist. It's the future existence. It's everything that will be, and there's no end to it either. It just goes on forever. So that's Haya Haiva V'Yia. Echad Yachad Umyuchad. I don't know exactly what those implications are trying to say of the one. Echad Yachid is individual, and Umyuchad is unique, right? What are these things flying above me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Look like teeny little helicopters. Straight up look like a swarm of teeny little helicopters surrounding me. It's like a ton of them. I'm like this huge giant, and there's like 100 of these teeny helicopters. And like they're not scared of me for some reason because there's so many of them and they're so quick. Like, what do they want from me? Or like they're just doing surveillance of the area and I'm in the way, but like I was here first. Like, don't you see me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Hello? Excuse me? Hello? Please back away. Please back away. Back away. Hello? Back away. This is my space. Hello? Alright, give him a warning shot. I don't know. On the first warning shot. Oh shit, I hope I didn't get none into my beer. Oh my god. Okay, if I did, I got it out. Oh my god. Nasty. Because I did swipe some. Oh my god. Alright, Savrima and L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niyeh b'dvaro. Cat, drink one of those for sure not. You can't eat or drink one of those. Completely forbidden and disgusting. I mean, that's... I don't know if that applies to a Gentile, but a Gentile could eat anything. They could eat pork. They could eat a lot of things that we can't eat. I don't know what the rules are for a Gentile. They have 7 rules. I wouldn't say I'm completely familiar at all with them. I mean, like, could try to, like, guess. I mean, I know they have to establish righteous courts. You're not allowed to murder, kill. I'd imagine rape and kidnapping is probably the same, included in one, but like you're probably not, I don't know how it's worded in the Bible, but like that, abducting or raping a woman is probably the same crime. Or no, I don't know how it's counted. It's probably like that's also forbidden. Like both. I'm saying both are forbidden, but might be like one under one name, under one umbrella. Is that 3 that I said? Courts, murder, rape. I don't know what else to go. A Gentile is forbidden to do, like, on the spot. Oh, maybe not steal, probably. Not steal. So that'd be 4. I'm missing 3. Like, probably like the knowledge of idolatry. So that's 5. I can't imagine what else I'm missing. What else can't a Gentile do? I can't eat food from a living animal, I think. Is that true? If that's true, that's 6. And I'm missing 1. Oh, the bugs are back. They left for like a minute. So I'm covering my bear with my hand and showing them away with my foot. Oh, wait. Crazy bear. I don't really go to Tel Aviv. I was in Tel Aviv this week, though, in a cemetery. I climbed a fence in the middle of the night with my friends. You can see the video. It's called World Peace X Stefanesht or something. Stefanesht and a fest, I don't know. Something like that. Anyways, I'm gonna walk because these bugs are really harassing me. It's not okay that I'm being bullied by little insects, a swarm of them. Say, like, if I was allowed to eat them and, like, I wasn't traumatized from them going in my mouth or my drink, okay, like, big deal. But, like, I am, so I don't want to, like, be here. This is a cool little library. Like, people, you could come and just take a book. It's free. You could put books there. I don't think anyone really runs it. I guess it's like just community operated, and like if someone wants to sort it, they will. I wonder if anyone from like the city ever comes and sorts through it or puts books away in the trash if they need to be, or adds new books. I don't know. They have these all over in Israel. I'm saying in Jerusalem, all over you have them. You have them in hiking trails, like on the Israel Trail, for example. It's the Israel National Trail, which I've done 100 miles of it. It's not all of it. It's not even half. You know, but I walked 100 miles on the Israel National Trail, starting from the most northern point till near Haifa, close to Haifa, a place called Isfia. A crazy wild journey. I went in and met Muslims in a mosque and went into the basement with them and sat with them on the floor wearing a yarmulke and tzitzis. I have a picture from inside that mosque with one of these Muslims. Abdullah is his email or something. I met Druze. I was in a Druze community. I was in a Bedouin encampment. I met Bedouins. You know, I met just all sorts of Israelis. I was in Christian places, you know. It was a wild experience. Yo, thanks for the comment about the beard. Hanad, and I'm not Israeli. I live in Israel for a while. I came to Israel the first time 15 years ago at the age of 12 for like a week for the holiday of Shavuot, with my father, and we stayed by my uncle and my aunt and my cousins in Beit Shemesh. And we stayed there, just me and my dad, for like a week for the holiday of Shavuot, and we had an incredible time. My uncle took us jeeping off roads. He took us to a place where the military does trainings, the army, the Israeli army, and like the signs say like, you know, like restricted area, live gunfire, and like he showed us like on the floor like bullets or like I don't know like random stuff that were left over. And my cousin had like taken like grenades or like I'm saying used or I don't know. I guess used. I don't know. It had to be used. I can't imagine they found live grenades. But he had bullets. I don't. He had stuff. He had stuff that he had taken from that area. And then, like my uncle had taken his jeeping there, bro. And I remember going like on these retarded hills, like up and down. Like I thought it was a roller coaster. I didn't think any car could ever do what he did. And he took his jeeping and his four-wheeler in like off-roads in Israel. We had a wild time. We ate in a Pizza Hut that like, I don't know, like a couple days later, like exploded or something, you know? I don't know, something weird. Something very weird. We had a wild, that was like in the Tanya or something. And we had a good time. Saying we got to see Israel, you know? Probably went to the Dead Sea. I don't know what we did. Yeah, we went to the Dead Sea. We went to Masada. Masada was the most beautiful place I've ever been to in the world. Is it Masada? Next to Masada, Ein Gedi. Ein Gedi. Ein Gedi, from what I remember being 12 years old on this trip, was a beautiful hike. You take up the mountain. It was, I remember it being hot. I remember girls were in bikinis. So it was like really hot. Imagine, okay? And you're walking up a mountain hiking, and the entire time there's a stream of water, cold water, and it's probably like knee deep to ankle deep to knee deep, maybe sometimes as deep as like even to your thighs, with some pools along the way. Along the way, you have occasionally pools, big natural pools, huge pools of fresh water with waterfalls. And I'm serious. It's gorgeous greenery. It's the most beautiful thing you could do. And I remember it so vividly because it was so weird. I was from Lakewood and my dad was so yeshivish and my brothers. And it was like all weird that there was girls in bikinis everywhere and we weren't supposed to be in such an environment. And my uncle like didn't give a shit. And he was like, and I was having the time of my life. I was fucking 12 years old. The most beautiful girls I'd ever seen in my life, all over around me in bikinis. And it's freaking hot. The water is cold. There's waterfalls everywhere. You keep walking, more waterfalls, pools, natural and freezing cold water flowing from who knows where. The Dead Sea's right there. You could see it. And Masada's right there. You could see it. It's like crazy. You're like, where am I in life? It doesn't make sense. The whole thing is biblical and gorgeous and everything you want out of a vacation or just life or chill, you know. So that's what I remember from my 12 years old Israel experience. You know, then I came back 5 years later. So that's 10 years ago. When I was 17, I came back to study. I came back here to study. I ended up studying here. I want to say like, I don't know how to count it because I've gone forth and back. And I did 2 full years of study for sure in one place. But before that, I did like a teeny bit, couple months, like a one teeny semester in a place. And after the 2 years, I did a few, like a semester in another place, like or half a semester. You know, I did some other time. Then I came back to another yeshiva, got kicked out right away. Like I did other study time here, you know. Another time here where I wasn't actively involved in school, but I was still here. And other times I was just here chilling. Like, I don't know. So I would say I studied here for like 3 years? I had a student visa here for 3 years. I did. For 3 full years, I had a student visa. For sure. So I could say, okay, let's say I studied here for 3 years. Okay. Now what? I was here 3 years as a student. I've been here, that's 7 years unaccounted for. So 7 of those years, I haven't been here all 7 of those years. I've probably been here out of those remaining 7 years. I've probably been there like, I would say like 1 to 2 of those have been in Israel, and what, like, let's say 2 of them in Israel and 5 of them in America. Does that make sense? 5 years in America? I don't believe that. I didn't spend that much time in America. Probably not. I spent like 2 or 3 years in Sfas, actually. What was I doing there? I wasn't a student. I was chilling. So I spent like 3 years as chilling in Sfas. Okay, let's put that on the calendar too. So I have 4 years unaccounted for. Probably out of those, 2 in America and 2 in Israel. Around Israel, 2 in America. Probably. That's what it was. Probably. That sounds more accurate, you know? Yo, so I don't work. Yeah, I don't work a job. I mean, I've done things for money. Like, for example, I have a gig now where I will read the world peace document at certain holy, um, the resting place of certain holy individuals, and try to bring a tikkun, or I don't know how to describe it or what I'm trying to do, but I'm reading and expressing the work of Yira Ha'ari in his book, The World Peace Document, at holy places, the resting spots of certain holy individuals, and I'm getting paid for it. So like that's like one gig I could say I'm doing. I wouldn't call it, I don't know if it's like a job. It's not like a full-time or part-time or anything. It's like when I do it, I get paid for it though. Is that a job? I sometimes ask like people that love me to help me and give me some money, and sometimes they do. Is that like a job if they give me money? I use that to live off of. Like, I don't know if that's a job. Like, I don't have a job, you know. I've had jobs, bro. I've worked. In America, I've worked a lot of jobs. I worked in a bookstore for a lot of years, starting when I was, I don't know how old. I want to say 7th grade, I think. And I think in 7th grade, I was still 12 years old. I think I turned 13 in the summer before 8th grade. So yeah, like, I'm pretty sure I had my first job when I was 12, and I held that job for many years. And I had that job even after I moved out of my hometown of Lakewood. Whenever I'd come back to Lakewood, I would work there, whatever I was there. You know, they really loved me, and I really loved the place. Eventually, I couldn't work anymore because I had mental issues. I had developmental retardation. I don't know how else to call it. Or like untreated, like, or just a lot of trauma, maybe just PTSD. Dude, I don't know what's wrong with me, dude. I don't know. I think I'm autistic and I have PTSD. That's what I would say. If I was my own diagnosis, I'd say I'm autistic, high functioning, highly autistic. And what? And yeah, I think I have a lot of traumas, post-trauma triggers. Like my body's like in a post-traumatic state of like fight or flight. I have to learn how to just like chill, like be at homeostasis. Is that what it's called? Just chill, yo, bro. Everything's okay. Okay. But the thing is, Sofrosinine. When I was in yeshiva studying, I actually didn't smoke any weed. I stopped smoking weed abruptly, just out of the blue. I stopped immediately at 17 years old, a little bit before my 18th birthday, like a few months before my 18th birthday. I want to say right after Passover. Like Passover is like in, I think, Nisan. I think it's April. And my birthday's in August. I think right after Passover, I went to Israel to study. And then in August, I turned 18. So it was like a few months before my 18th birthday. I was still 17. But yeah, at that time, I completely stopped smoking weed and even drinking alcohol as a party mechanism. I wouldn't like in yeshiva. We would have Thursday night. We would stay up a little later and study all together and sing songs and eat and like drink and it's like I think Thursday night, the night before, because the next morning is already Friday. It's Shabbos. You're getting ready for Shabbos. It's like Thursday night's a thing. I don't know for Shabbos. So I'm saying so we would drink. I don't know if I would ever get drunk. Maybe sometimes, but like I didn't. When I was younger, I would drink to get drunk and I'd get wrecked. I'd get blacked out. I'm saying in yeshiva, I wasn't drinking like that. And I was really not drinking. Maybe I would drink if the yeshiva was drinking. I'd drink a little bit sometimes, maybe. But like smoking weed, I never smoked in yeshiva. When I was in yeshiva, I was never smoking weed. Ever. It's not like I sneaked away once and smoked weed. Not once. I completely went clean from drugs. I smashed my smartphone. I didn't have internet access. When I went on my hike in Israel, I did it without internet. 100 miles of hiking without internet. Just a kosher phone, with texting or whatever, I had a map of like a book with a map, like a physical copy, hard copy map, soft copy map, whatever. Yeah, so I did a good amount of studying when I was not chilling and I was not smoking or drinking. I was not engaged with any woman whatsoever, no contact with any woman. I went a year and a half without masturbating, for sure. I had, during that time, wet dreams, which I was told are, like, beyond your control, but, like, they're still ultimately in your control in a sense of, like, if you really fixed your thoughts, you wouldn't have wet dreams or something like that. I don't know. But I never jerked off during that time. A year and a half I went till I got back to America. I broke that, and I broke Shabbat, and then I broke everything. Because in America, it was really hard for me. I came back to America, and I was, like, without a community. I wasn't living with my family. I was just, like, living nowhere. Like, I was, like, sleeping on the floor in my younger brother's basement, just taking his car out at night while he slept. And in the morning, he would go to work in his car, and at night, and I would go to sleep. And at night, I would go party in his car, I'm saying it was a sweet gig for me, took care of me, but, like, saying I didn't have, like, a chevra, I didn't have a rebbe or a yeshiva, I didn't have, like, a family I was going home to. What did I have? So it was, like, very easy to, like, just fall into nothing when it got difficult, Especially because I've been there already and, like, I don't know. My theory is you can't give someone something less than what they've already tasted. So, like, if someone's tasted the best ice cream and now you told them, listen, there's a problem with the patient's stomach. This patient cannot eat dairy. Listen, now that you've already tasted the best ice cream, you cannot give them a dairy-free ice cream that doesn't taste that good or better because they've already tasted something that good. It's like, it's not fair. What do you mean? You have to give them... If they've never tasted ice cream before, it doesn't really matter. They don't even need ice cream. You can give them any ice cream, even if you want to, but you don't even need ice cream. Who cares? I mean, still, no. Still, it matters. Still, it matters. You should give them the best ice cream. But, like I'm saying, they don't know. But, like, if they've tasted good ice cream and then you give them, like, a dairy-free ice cream and it's not good, that's not fair. It's like they know the real thing, right? So the same is with, like, anyone who's taken drugs or anyone who's, like, gone off the derech and broken the religious rules of whatever sect or religion they're in. You've already tasted the real ice cream. You can't give me, like, this light version ice cream and telling me this is ice cream. I know it's ice cream, right? So if you're going to give me, like, a religious system, it has to involve real pleasure on, like, maximum levels. Like, I know I can turn on my own body using substances, yeah? So, like, your religious system has to have an equivalent of that or have a room for that, which I think my religious system does in my framework, although I think a lot of people disagree with me. in my own mind, it makes sense. We could talk about it, but like, I'm super pro. Like, if you'd ask me, I'm like pro ketamine, pro LSD, pro cannabis, pro tobacco. Like, all of these things in their natural form, without additives, without chemicals, without whatever. And then, like, controlled dosage, controlled environment and setting, like, maturity and responsibility, so people aren't operating motor vehicles when they're high on like LSD and they're candy flipping with MDMA, and like they're not sure in which dimension they're in, and they're like operating a motor vehicle. No, I would not be pro that. Yeah, I am 27 years old. Thank God. It's weird to me sometimes when I think that I'm 27. Because when I was a child, like 27 was like my uncles were probably 27. The youngest of my uncles were probably like 27 when I was a child. And like to me, that was like the oldest you could be, 27. You couldn't get much older than 27 without being like my parents' age. Like how much could he be, like 37? Saying my dad, could he have been 37 when I was like 7? I feel like my dad's, I don't know how old he is. He's at least 60. I'm not even 30, so yeah, my dad's 30 years older than me at least. What? My dad's 30 years older than me. Can't be. Yeah, so wait, how does that, so yeah? What? Is my dad maybe not 60? Maybe he's not even 60 yet. I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe my dad's not 60. I remember when I was young, my dad was 40. That's what I remember. Like growing up, my dad was 40. I'm only 27 now, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's already 60. Running low on battery. I wonder if I brought my charger. I didn't. Okay. Yalla Chaya. Good Shabbos, everyone. Have a good one.